Mic check. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace.
No justice.
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 No peace. No peace. No justice. No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
Justice. No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice. No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
For the management of the STO, they need to. Yeah. I mean, they want their demands from management.
I'm Easy Jackson for the Real News Network. We are at a Target in Baltimore County today where workers have taken action and made some demands against management here. Claims that management has been racist, ableist, and sexist. So workers decided today to hold an action inside the store. We're talking to those workers right now.
There's a myriad of issues here at Target that we've been experiencing. A lot of workers of color have been experiencing racism from some of the managers, two in specific. I don't know if you want me to name them, but...
You said their names inside. You can. What were their names?
Yeah. Letitia, George is specifically with sexual harassment. There's been several workers that have come to me. I don't want to name them, but he's had several charges of sexual harassment.
And George is a manager?
Yeah, he's a manager. And they have recently in the store, we have been complaining. I've taken legal action, so I filed a complaint with the NLRB against the STL. His name was Lance, and he basically we're out here on an unfair labor practice charge strike.
Target is a company known for its anti-union practices, one of the largest retailers in the country that is often at odds with employee rights, which makes the action today by workers at this Baltimore County Target all the more remarkable.
We're not trying to unionize at this point. I think we're kind of one of the, I'm working directly with Adam, who's, he had a strike at his Target in Christiansburg, Virginia.
Okay.
And it was against a manager that was racist and sexually harassing workers. And they were successful in getting him fired.
I started working at Target over a year ago, and just through mutual friends and contacts, we had heard at this store of the head manager sexually harassing the women workers for years. He'd been there for over a decade, and we had heard, from workers, they tried to go through the internal channels that Target provided to hold him accountable, but it just seemed like every time they tried to report him that they would just get retaliated against, and he would keep his job and they would, get fired. So we felt it was necessary to take further action, so we organized a strike, and we went on strike last August with the main demand being his termination. And we were successful in that. By the second day of our strike, they removed him from his position as they conducted an internal investigation, and then it wasn't much long after that they decided that they were going to fire him and remove him.
Tired of poor working conditions, racism, ableism, and sexism, organizers gathered outside the store early this morning to hear concern from employees. The action is part of a broader plan by the Democratic Socialists of America to organize Target workers across the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened at this store, it's happened at my store. It just seems that Target rather just do the bare minimum to address these issues rather than, providing full accountability like the workers want. So instead of terminating the managers who deserve it, they transfer some of them out to other stores so they can continue with their abuse on other workers at other stores, and that's unacceptable.
We've went to managers, we've had one-on-one conversations with them, we've had one-on-one conversation with corporate, and I think we're just fed up and we're tired of trying to talk to them, trying to get them to do something. And I want to be out here because a lot of those workers of color are still in there right now.
We asked the workers if they feared retaliation for speaking out. Many of them said they did not. We also asked several black employees if they had themselves experienced any racism, and they said that they had not. There's no black people out here with you.
Yeah.
And all the black workers kind of stayed in inside. Why do you think that is?
I think honestly they're just scared. I mean, it's the very similar dynamic to what happened at our store. Only a handful of us actually went on strike, but there was a lot of support we had built up prior to that of getting workers to provide testimonies and incidences of sexual harassment or racism. And I believe Erica and Sarah did the same thing here, getting those testimonies from workers of color about the instances of racism and discrimination on the job. And to me, like, the fact that they would even participate to provide those testimonies is enough to show like an endorsement of our effort. And I think, as a white person, it's our jobs to be out there struggling against white supremacy and against racism. And because, we got more leeway in that being white people. Me as a white man, like, I got more leeway in pushing that boundary than, say, you as a black man or a black woman. Like, if black workers were out there with us at the sidewalk when the cops came, I don't necessarily know if that encounter would have been as friendly as it was.
They're afraid. Some of them were actually going to come out today. It might have just been a conflict of something else, but a lot of them are really scared to lose their jobs, and understandably so. I feel like if I have the privilege as a white person to, those police were very polite with me, and, I feel like if I can give some of my time to directly, communicating with you guys and communicating with management in there, I will do it. Because I've seen it myself. I've seen managers say very ableist things, very racist things about team members, and I'm not down with that at all. I've had my share of issues in the store, but I think what's more important and what's more pressing is the differential treatment of workers of color versus white workers in the store. And I think that's what we really want to focus on today. Yeah.
Their supporters gathered nearby this morning and then entered the store to do a mic check and address their supervisors with their demands. They say they have been working to address these conditions for months, but management failed to act, so they had to escalate. The workers then picketed outside and talked to customers. The action was ended shortly after it began right out front, when Baltimore County police officers showed up and asked the protesters to move to the corner. The workers have been working with the Democratic Socialists of America chapter in Baltimore.
This is actually the first effort beyond our store of trying to do joint work between Target workers at other stores.
How'd you get in touch with Erica?
We had actually been linked up through a Facebook group for retail workers, and we started holding regular meetings like every week, and we would just talk about what the issues were going on at our stores, and me sharing my experience about our manager engaging in sexual harassment, going on strike, getting them fired, and I think that kind of helped encourage them or inspire them to want to take action, do something similar at their store, because they're dealing with racism from their management and also some instances of sexual harassment as well. Right. So I just wanted to come up here and show support with them and offer whatever experience and wisdom that I might have that could help them in their efforts.
We are not trying to unionize at this point. I think we're kind of one of the, I'm working directly with Adam, who's, he had a strike at his Target in Christiansburg, Virginia. And it was against a manager that was racist and sexually harassing workers, and they were successful in getting him fired.
We spoke with management inside just a few moments ago. They were not willing to share any details or answer any questions, but they referred us to media relations, which is in Minnesota, and they claimed that they would be able to answer any of our questions. So here's what they had to say. We want everyone who works at Target to feel valued and respected, and take any allegations of workplace misconduct seriously. We've been working for several weeks to address issues brought forth by team members at the Timonium store and have already taken actions to address them. We will continue to work closely with this store's new leadership to ensure the team member experience meets Target's workplace standards. We asked workers if they are considering joining a union. While Target is known for being anti-union and releasing this anti-union video a few years ago,
we feel strongly that once you learn the facts, you'll decide that having a union at Target might benefit the union because they could collect your dues.
But it's not in the best interest of the company or the team members.
Refuse to sign and keep Target union-free.
Erica says the workers are not really trying to unionize right now. They simply want to be respected as workers. This is Easy Jackson with Will Arenas, reporting from Timonium in Baltimore County.